Hello, everybody. I'm on air. And tonight we have a guest. We're going to start this out slow, and so we're supposed to get a guest, and we may get it, him or not. And if we do, then we'll have some discussion for you. And if we don't, I'll give you a good 30-minute download of the finishing the second Ayurveda Live. And I'll finish fall, and we'll continue on, and I'll tell you about what we're going to do next week. The third live Ayurveda and fall, or Ayurveda Live. So anyway, tonight, what we're going to finish, I want to start off with giving my obeisance and offerings and great thank yous to Lord Ganesha, the god of good events and charisma and having charm and no obstacles in life. So I send that blessing to all you who are listening tonight, that your natural charm just flows out, that you have no obstacles with any desires that you have in life, and that your wishes and your desires manifest effortlessly and easily. So tonight we're going to continue on about fall, and we're going to talk about the basic Rutacharya, which is the Sanskrit word Rutacharya, means spelled R-U-T-A-C-H-A-R-Y-A, Rutacharya, and it means daily routine. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put up this wonderful picture of my patron saint, which is Lord Davantari. And Lord Davantari is the spiritual physician of Ayurveda. And I give my offering and obeisance, and I dedicate this live Ayurveda talk to Lord Davantari. And now, basically, we have to finish our work for fall routine. And so there are the basic, I think we left off at talking about alternate breathing. So alternate breathing is the basic approach to cleaning out and purifying the nervous system, the spinal cord, the vata aspect of stress, and how stress affects the nervous system. And the number one way in Ayurveda to rejuvenate the stress from the day before is to do alternate breathing. And especially in autumn and in wintertime, when it's dry and it is hard and cold, then stress gets in the body and has a more debilitating effect. So one of the direct ways in daily routine to eliminate stress from the body is to do pranayama. Pranayama is also called alternate breathing technique. Alternate breathing technique and pranayama, there are many, many demonstrations on YouTube, but I thought I would talk about that and do a demonstration tonight for you myself. So you have 2 steps before alternate breathing. And those 2 steps are, first, you do after brushing the teeth, okay? Then you drink the cup of lukewarm water, and after you drink the cup of lukewarm water, brush the teeth, take the cup of lukewarm water, and then start your alternate breathing. Okay, and another name for alternate breathing is pranayama. And so to do alternate breathing, what you do, and everybody should do this with me, okay, is that you take your right hand and your right thumb, okay, and you occlude your right nostril and you blow out. So then breathe in, occlude this nostril, and breathe out. Not your mouth, but your nostril. Then breathe in, and then occlude out, and then breathe in, and then occlude out, and breathe in, and then occlude, and breathe out the opposite nostril. Now, when you start doing this, you can do it 3 to 5 minutes, and 5 minutes is really a lot. 3 minutes is a good amount. Sometimes when I have people who've never done it before, they get dizzy pretty easy. So you just do it gently. If you just did that much every morning, you'd be amazed at how good that is for your body. But if you actually took the time and did 3 minutes of it, you would really be rejuvenating your nervous system. And the number one benefit of doing pranayama is to release the stress out of the central nervous system. And that'd be a good idea if you have a stressful day ahead of you. If you did some relaxing, it's so simple. It takes 1 minute or 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and 5 at the very most. Now, there are some special instructions if you want to be really practice an ideal Ayurvedic approach, and that is that you face either north or east or north when you're doing the pranayama, and you just breathe normally, and you don't try and, you don't want to do something like where you put all this effort into it. You don't need to do that. Actually, you breathe normally, and you relax, and you put your inner attention, you direct your inner attention on your physical contraction from your inner stomach all the way down to your anus. So you're breathing in, and you hold the nostril, and you direct your inner attention, and you relax the anus, you relax the gut, you relax any kind of area of tension in your body as you expel the oxygen out the opposite. So you imagine and you connect with the energy flow in your body as you're breathing in and out. You don't have an outward directed attention, you have an inward directed attention. And then what you're doing is you're getting more oxygen. You're literally pushing the oxygen through the body. And you're only doing it for 1 to 2 minutes. So you've brushed your teeth, and now you're doing your pranayama. You're releasing the stress from your spinal cord, and you're renewing and regenerating the oxygenation throughout the body, and it's helping to stimulate. And what this does is, in Ayurveda, there are 5 reflexes in the nervous system, okay? The first reflex, and it's all about the directions, okay? So the directions is that you breathe in, okay? And it's called prana, meaning brain, okay? And then that's the first direction of the human body, is that the minute the baby is born, whack, you give them a little pat of hello, and they cry, and they breathe in, okay? And then their oxygen fills with their lungs, or the lungs fill with oxygen, and then their diaphragm releases, and they breathe out. And that's called Udana Vayu. So the first direction of the nervous system is to bring oxygen in. The second direction of the nervous system, in terms of a reflex arc, is to release the oxygen out the other nostril. The third direction of the electric system, or what the nervous system does, is it sends electric charges above the belly button so that the stomach and the liver and the gallbladder can contract and move and do their peristalsis. And the fourth direction of the electricity is from the belly button to the anus, and it's a downward forceful action. It's the same thing as having a bowel movement, a baby, having ejaculation, having an orgasm, forceful downward movement. And the fifth reflex arc is Vyana. And Vyana is the electric charge that circulates the electricity and the oxygen in the body. So you can see that doing pranayama every morning, you're breathing in, you're breathing out, your gut relaxes, you prepare your body for a bowel movement for the morning time if you're not having constipation or other kinds of digestive disorders. And if you are, then you go to www.indigestionguru.com, And you can sign up for the free letter, our free newsletter, and you get several newsletters describing Vata and digestion. And you'll also sign up for the my free book. It's called The A to Z Guide to Ayurveda, Ancient Healing Practices of India, and it's the first 118 pages of it. And when that book first came out, Dell Publishing Company published it in the early 90s, and 17,000 copies sold, and it won an award. And it's a very easy explanation of Ayurveda. And the one thing over the years people have told me is that they've read a lot of other Ayurvedic books, but mine has a simple explanation that you can follow and actually relate to. So please go to www.indigestionguru.com and sign up for the Indigestion Guru program, a 30-week program with PDs and audios that Dr. Craig and I have put together a long time ago. We worked on it really hard, and I also wanted to give Dr. Craig a plug because he worked all day long to work on Hangout, Google, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be sitting here doing this right now, so I got to really thank him. So anyway, let's go back to pranayama, alternate breathing, and the 5 visceral reflexes of Vata. Breathing in, breathing out, the peristalsis of above the belly button, the stomach, the liver, the gallbladder, the pancreas, and how the electricity affects those organs. And then below the belly button, the large intestines, the reproductive organs, the forceful downward action, and then the trigger in the heart and getting the electricity going. This is why we do daily routines, because we're a little like vehicle. And we have to like put the key in correctly every day in order for it to optimize its function. And so the first thing we do is we brush the teeth, we do alternate breathing or pranayama like that. And then if we're working right, if everything is good and we're not in a chronic state of fight or flight in our nervous system, and we're in a more relaxed state of rest and activity, then we're going to, after pranayama, we're going to get the urge to have a bowel movement. And that would be the perfect response, actually. So if we don't, though, if we don't get have the urge to have a bowel movement, then we have a certain contraindication that indicates, which is that you shouldn't do yoga after pranayama unless you get that urge to have a bowel movement, because then when you do the yoga, you drive the stress deeper into the system, okay? And but if you do have a bowel movement, and then what you do is you do the lotus, which is the lotus position, which is you move forward and backward, and you do Vajrayana, which is sitting on the heels, and you do the spinal twist, okay? And you can see all of these yoga positions on YouTube. It's easy. That's why I'm not doing them myself. It's also recommended to do shoulder stands and head stands, but of course, I'm a chiropractor, so I see people all the time who hurt themselves with yoga. I mean, I also see people who love yoga, so I'm certainly not against yoga in any way, but who hurt themselves with headstands and shoulder stands because they do them incorrectly. So if you're in pain or you have any kinds of other neck problems or headaches or any neck and shoulder or clavicle problems, then you shouldn't do those unless you're with a certified yoga instructor who can teach you how to do them. So the reason why we would do headstands and shoulder stands, though, is because when you do that, it makes the energy in the body go upward motion. And that upward motion of Vata, the electricity, it helps it recirculate everything. And it doesn't take very long. It's 3 yoga moves. I mean, it wouldn't take, you know, you could take a long time with yoga moves, but you can also just do 5 repetitions of each, 7 repetitions of each, and you know, you could have a 10-minute, 15-minute yoga routine, even 10 minutes. Because once you do the alternate breathing, have a bowel movement, do 3 or 4 asanas, you are really turning a golden key into your beautiful temple and really going to have a great day. You're optimizing for the day. Then, if you're really ambitious and you wake up early enough, you can do a namaskar, which is the sun salutation. And the sun salutation, if you go to www.indigestionguru.com, then you can download my free book, and there's a illustration of all of the moves of the sun salutation in my free book, Ayurvedic Effortless Living. Now, after you have done the 12 repetitions of the sun salutation, then you do the most important thing. You sit quietly and you enter into meditation. And it's recommended in Ayurveda that you meditate twice a day, 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening. And there just isn't, it's very difficult to say how important it is to meditate, and also how many ways there are to meditate. Now, I meditate with a mantra because I got given my mantra when I was like 21 years old. And I learned to sit, meditate, and do transcendental meditation for 20 minutes a day, twice a day, and several asanas and pranayama. And that's the routine I have. And so, but you don't have to have that routine. You can pray. You can meditate. You can say that your favorite word. You can read your favorite sacred scriptures. There are a million ways to meditate, but you have to sit quietly and sit in the silence of your own mind and let your brain waves reset themselves. Okay, now we talked about if you have pranayama after, if you have constipation after pranayama, we talked about that. And we talked about why, because it will push the vata and the toxins deep into the connective tissue. So instead of doing yoga, you do daily oil massage. Now, how do you do daily oil massage? You take just a small amount of oil, not more than 50 cents, okay? And then you apply a circular motion to the 6 great joints. And the 6 great joints, number 1 is the shoulder. Number 2 is the elbow. Number 3 is the wrist. Number 4, the thumb. 4, but that's 5. Sorry, miscounted. Is the hip, the knee, and the 6th is the ankle. So the shoulder, the elbow, the wrist, the hip, the knee, and the ankle. Those 6 great joints on both sides, you rub in a circular motion, circular, like that, with the palm of your hand. And you're not doing deep massage. The whole reason you're doing this is application of oil to the skin, because the skin is nothing more than a network of nerves. And when you oil it, you lubricate the skin itself and the nerve. And how do you get to the nerve? Through all the little hairs that are on the skin. There is a little muscle underneath there called the piloerector muscle. The piloerector muscle is connected to a nerve. So the millions of hairs, and even if you're a hairless person, you still have those muscles. And those nerves come right up to the surface of the skin. And in Ayurveda and also in psychoneuroimmunology, I've heard it said that the skin is nothing more than a network of nerves. So you oil the skin, you oil the nerves, and you are protected and given an increase in natural resiliency because your skin and your nerves are oiled. They're not dry. They're not cracking. They're not split. They're oiled. They have, it's like they have natural bending and ability to be supple. So that's daily oil massage. Now the next step is to do pranayama. I'm sorry, not pranayama. Is to do Nasaya. And Nasaya is putting oil in the nose. Okay? Now, I told countless people that, and countless people have looked at me, Americans, have looked at me, and all kinds of Westerners, have looked at me like I was crazy. Like, what are you talking about? You're putting ghee, oil in my nose? Why? It's incredible why. Because in this nose, you have cilia. And cilia are these little hairs in the passageway between the outside world and your brain. And we inhale 1 tablespoon of solid particle matter daily. And we all know that we live in a toxic soup. I mean, this Nasaya was recommended in Ayurveda that started like 8,000 years ago. And they felt like they had pollution. If you read the ancient texts, you'll read where there are commentators that say that. But if you go out in our world today, you surely know that we live in a toxic soup. So protecting your skin with daily oil massage and snorting oil into the nose, you lubricate the cilia and you help the cilia grow. And the cilia protects, you know, like this, and pushes back things that come into the nose. Now, it also has cilia going down in through the air passageway, but because we have so much toxins, and maybe we're tired, maybe we haven't been taking care of ourselves, maybe we're a Vata body type and we're really just dry anyway, maybe if we're over 60, maybe it's in the fall and there's dryness in the air, and the cilia all is affected by that. So when you snort ghee through the nose and you get gargle with ghee, what happens is that you restore the cilia. And so this, whatever goes in the nose and overloads the cilia in the nose goes down the air pipe. And whatever overloads the cilia down the air pipe goes into the lungs. And so protecting these passageways and making these tissues as strong as they can and keeping the sinuses lubricated helps us reduce all of the symptoms that go toward irreparable chronic sinusitis, where people, you know, I've had so many people over the years come in who work outdoors for a living and have terrible chronic sinusitis and do Nasaya and come back and give me hugs and kisses and tell me they love me, because just doing that has made most of their symptoms go away. So what I thought I'd do is I thought I would demonstrate to you today how you do this. So basically, what I'm doing here is that I took this bottle. I'm not going to really, it's not, I took this bottle and I put sesame oil in it. Okay? So this is a bottle of something that I bought that has the perfect top on it. I used it, and then I put my sesame oil in it. So then I can take this and, let's see, I have to get this right. Okay? So, okay. And I just squirt 1 drop. That was it. That's all I did. Okay? And I'm taking the drop, okay, on the tip of my finger, which is going to get on my computer if I don't watch out. And I'm just taking it to my nose. I'm occluding the other one, and just like that. Ah, nice. And just around my nose, okay? And then I'm going to take another little drop, and there you go. That is Nasaya. And you know, if you live outdoors or if you work in a, you know, there's many sick buildings. There's tremendous allergies these days, and there are formaldehyde allergies. There's hydrocarbons. You don't even have to have allergies where you have a full-blown reaction. You can have mild intolerances, moderate intolerances, or severe intolerances. And that would be a really good reason to do Nasaya. But without even having those kinds of reasons to do Nasaya, in the Ayurvedic way of understanding how to take care of your body, it's all about getting ahead of the problem. It's all about this really easy way to prevent. And the easy way to prevent is to developing an intimacy every morning with how you relate to yourself and how you relate to your body, how you soothe yourself with oil, how you feed yourself with oil. And a lot of times, you know, in Ayurveda, people will always say they don't know their body type. So if they don't know their body type, they don't want to figure out the whole entire science. Well, the thing is that it is good to know your body type, okay? Because that is the core premise in Ayurveda, that there's no such thing as disease alone. It's a disease in a certain body type. So if you have arthritis in a Vata body type, you have stiff joint symptoms. If you have arthritis in a Pitta body type, you have inflammatory joint and inflammation in hot joints. And if you have a Kapha arthritis, then you have water and congestion in the joints. So it certainly makes a big difference if the Ayurvedic physician or specialist knows what kind of body type the person is, and they will know because it's a science. But on the other hand, you don't really need to know that to get the value of the daily regimen and the daily body type regiment, or the daily regiment known as Rudacharya. If you just get up every day and you start a routine that is really an intimate routine, but the caveat with Ayurveda is to include the oiling, the body oiling, the Nasaya, and gargling with oil, especially if you work in any kind of business where you're talking all the time, like myself. You really get so much out of oiling and gargling with sesame oil. Okay, so then I talked about that I was going to give you the colors for fall. Okay, so the colors for fall obviously are red. Okay, fall colors to wear during fall to feel in sync with the vibration that is being a color vibration that comes from the sun and the moon and the earth, and how they are rotating around each other, and how they're affecting at what season, and what colors are resonating, and what colors resonate in our minds so that we feel in sync with the season. And those are red and orange and yellow, you would know, and white. Okay, and anybody can wear those, even Kaphas or Vatas or Pittas. But Pittas should wear more white and yellow, and Kaphas should go more toward red to stimulate, and Vatas are good with white and yellow and orange. And these colors strengthen, okay? They strengthen your individual auric field. So it's autumn, you wear the colors of autumn, and it strengthens your individual auric field. And of course the auric field is the energy that is emanating, and there's a lot of tests that are now currently done, and you can find it all over the internet, that says that we emanate out 12 feet. So if we're in sync with our color, and in the season, we're emanating out calmness, love, a sense of belongingness, sattvic, pure awareness, not chaos and not inertia, but a sense of calm, restful alertness. And these colors soothe Vata in the Vata season. Also, yellow and blue are very good. Blue is cooling, but blue sapphire is heating, so it can be beneficial for Vatas to wear blue sapphires. It's also not good at all during the fall season to get noise pollution, because our nerves are drier in the fall, and so if we really have a lot of noise pollution in the fall, we'll find ourselves being actually naturally more agitated by the noise pollution. And what can we do about that? We can put drops of oil in our ears, and it will help lubricate our nerves. Also, we want to stay away from cold drafts in the fall for the same reason. They aggravate vata. Road rage. We do not want to have road rage in the fall or any other season, but it's worse than in other seasons because our nerves are not lubricated, and so they're overreactive at this period. And then fasting is not good during the autumn because it's depleting. You do fasting in the spring and in the summer, at the summer equinox, but not in the dry autumn. Well, it always goes by so fast, but those are I'm finished with the fall, and then next week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a whole talk on the body type and how that body type is the expression of each planet. And I'm just going to teach a little bit about Vedic astrology. I love Vedic astrology, and I do a lot of charts for my patients. I use Vedic astrology in my daily Ayurvedic practice, and it's extremely wonderful and helpful. So it'll be an esoteric 30 minutes, but it'll be really fun. Okay, well, I hope you make some comments and let me know if you like if you want me to bring those cards back, or if you like this method, or if you like both methods. So let me know. All right, love you all. Have a good week.